When the Carian Empire launched their invasion of Earth, they expected an easy conquest. Little did they know, humanity had been preparing for this moment for generations. In the shadows, the unseen Guardians stood ready, led by the brilliant strategist Captain Elena Drake. As the first alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere, a signal was sent: activate Guardian Protocol. What followed was a battle of wits and survival that would change the galaxy forever. The vast, star-studded expanse of space was tranquil, save for the imposing presence of the Carian fleet. Sleek, dark ships, bristling with advanced weaponry, cut through the void with silent menace. On board the flagship, General Theric observed the blue-green orb of Earth with a mixture of disdain and anticipation. To him, this conquest was just another stepping stone in the Empire's expansion, a routine operation that would cement his legacy. "General, all systems are ready for the assault," a lieutenant reported. "Excellent," Theric replied, his voice cold and calculating. "Commence the operation. Let's show these primitive beings the might of the Carian Empire." As the alien ships descended into Earth's atmosphere, chaos erupted. Cities worldwide were engulfed in panic as the sky darkened with the silhouette of the invading armada. The Carians launched their assault with surgical precision, targeting military bases, communication hubs, and infrastructure critical to human defense. In the heart of one such city, Captain Elena Drake stood on a rooftop, her eyes scanning the horizon. She was a figure of calm amidst the storm, her sharp mind already calculating the enemy's strategy. Elena had spent years preparing for this moment. As a child, she had listened to stories of alien invasions and humanity's resilience. As an adult, she had dedicated her life to ensuring that Earth would never fall. "Captain, the Carians have breached the outer defenses," a voice crackled through her earpiece. "Understood," Elena replied, her voice steady. "Activate the Guardian Protocol." Deep within hidden bunkers and secret military installations, humanity's true strength was unleashed. Advanced holographic technology, developed in secrecy, sprang to life, creating illusions and decoys that confused and misled the invaders. Hidden weapons platforms emerged from seemingly innocuous locations, launching counterattacks with devastating precision. The Carians, expecting minimal resistance, found themselves in the midst of a carefully orchestrated trap. Holographic decoys led their forces into ambushes, where human soldiers, armed with cutting-edge weaponry, awaited them. Every move the invaders made was anticipated, every strategy countered. General Theric watched in growing frustration as his forces struggled against the unexpected resistance. "How is this possible?" he snarled. "These humans should be cowering before us." On the ground, Elena directed the defense with a masterful touch. Her command center was a flurry of activity, holographic displays showing real-time data of the battlefield. She coordinated hit-and-run attacks, guerrilla tactics that maximized the strengths of her forces and exploited the weaknesses of the enemy. In a darkened alley, a squad of human soldiers prepared for an ambush. "Remember, stay hidden until the last moment," their leader whispered. "Trust the captain's plan." As a Carian patrol entered the trap, the soldiers sprang into action, their synchronized assault overwhelming the invaders. It was a scene repeated across the city, each skirmish a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. As the battle raged on, the people of Earth watched with a mixture of fear and hope. News broadcasts showed glimpses of the conflict, highlighting the bravery of the defenders and the cunning of their strategies. In a small apartment, a family huddled around their television, eyes wide with awe and anxiety. "Will we be okay, Dad?" a young boy asked, his voice trembling. His father placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Yes, son. We have people like Captain Drake protecting us. We just have to believe in them." As dawn approached, the tide of battle began to shift. The Carians, initially confident in their superiority, found themselves pushed back by the relentless human defense. General Theric, his frustration boiling over, ordered a full-scale assault on the heart of the resistance. Elena watched the enemy's movements with a calculating eye. "They're desperate," she murmured. "Now is our chance." She sent out new orders, her voice calm and commanding. "All units, prepare for the final push. We can do this." As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Casting a golden glow over the battlefield, humanity stood united. The fight for Earth had only just begun, but with leaders like Captain Elena Drake, there was hope. The unseen Guardians were ready, and they would not falter. The first rays of dawn cast a pale light over the ravaged cityscape. Smoke billowed from the ruins, and the air was thick with the scent of burning metal and concrete. The Carian Empire's forces, initially so confident, were now embroiled in a battle they hadn't anticipated. The Guardian Protocol had been activated, and humanity's hidden strength was on full display. Captain Elena Drake stood in the command center, a bunker hidden deep beneath the city. The walls were lined with holographic screens, displaying real-time data from across the battlefield. Her fingers danced across the console, directing her forces with precise, calculated movements. "Status report," she called out. "Sector 3 is holding steady," Lieutenant Harper replied. "Our decoys are drawing the enemy into our traps. Casualties are minimal." Elena nodded, her mind racing. The Guardian Protocol had been years in the making, a secret project designed to turn the tide against any invader. Advanced holographic technology created illusions so convincing that even the most sophisticated sensors were fooled. Hidden weapons emplacements and mobile strike teams operated under the cover of these illusions, striking with deadly efficiency. In one corner of the city, a Carian squadron advanced cautiously through the ruins. Their sensors picked up movement ahead, and they prepared for an attack. Suddenly, a group of human soldiers appeared, firing from behind cover. The Carians charged, only to find themselves surrounded by holographic projections. Realizing too late that they had been duped, they were caught in a crossfire from the real human forces hidden nearby. The effectiveness of the Guardian Protocol was evident in every skirmish. The Carians, unused to fighting an enemy that could blend deception with direct confrontation so seamlessly, found themselves repeatedly outmaneuvered. Their superior technology was rendered useless against the unpredictable tactics of the human defenders. In the command ship high above, General Theric paced angrily. Reports from the ground painted a grim picture. His forces were being outwitted and outflanked at every turn. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "These humans are supposed to be primitives." "General," one of his aides ventured, "it seems they have technology we did not account for. Their use of holograms and guerrilla tactics is unexpected." Theric's eyes narrowed. "Unexpected, indeed. They will regret challenging the might of the Carian Empire. Prepare our elite troops. We will crush this resistance once and for all." Back on the ground, Elena watched as the enemy regrouped. She could sense their desperation. The Carians were formidable, but they had underestimated humanity's adaptability and resolve. She knew they would throw everything they had into the next assault. "Lieutenant Harper," she said, turning to her second-in-command, "prepare our forces for a counterattack. Use the Guardian Protocol to its fullest. We need to keep them off balance." Harper nodded and relayed the orders. Across the city, human soldiers readied themselves. The air was thick with tension, but also with determination. They had seen the effectiveness of their strategies, and they believed in their leader. In a hidden underground hangar, a squadron of advanced human drones powered up. These drones, equipped with the latest in stealth and offensive technology, were a crucial part of the Guardian Protocol. They could strike fast and hard, disappearing before the enemy could retaliate. As the Carian elite troops began their assault, they were met with a wall of resistance. Holographic decoys led them into ambushes, drones struck from the shadows, and human soldiers fought with a tenacity born from defending their home. The battlefield was a chaotic blend of real and illusion, making it nearly impossible for the Carians to gain any ground. Elena coordinated the defense with surgical precision, her strategic mind always 3 steps ahead. She anticipated the enemy's moves, countering them with devastating efficiency. The Guardian Protocol had not only leveled the playing field, but had given humanity the upper hand. As the day wore on, the tide of battle began to turn decisively in favor of the human defenders. The Carians, their ranks decimated and their morale shattered, began to fall back. General Theric, watching the defeat unfold, could hardly believe his eyes. "General, our forces are in full retreat," his aide reported. "We need to regroup." Theric clenched his fists, rage boiling within him. "This isn't over," he growled. "Prepare the fleet for withdrawal. But mark my words, we will return. And when we do, these humans will pay dearly for their defiance." On the ground, Elena watched as the enemy retreated. She allowed herself a moment of relief, but knew that this was only the beginning. The Carians would return, and next time, they would be better prepared. But so would humanity. The Guardian Protocol had proven its worth, and with it, they had shown that Earth was not to be trifled with. As night fell, the city began to pick up the pieces. Soldiers and civilians alike worked to repair the damage and tend to the wounded. Elena looked out over the skyline, her mind already planning the next steps. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. The aftermath of the initial battle left Earth's defenders both exhausted and exhilarated. The Carian retreat was a testament to humanity's ingenuity and resolve, but Captain Elena Drake knew that this was just the beginning. As the city began to recover, she took a moment to reflect on the journey that had led them to this point. Years earlier, Elena had been a young cadet in the Earth Defense Academy, her mind sharp and her spirit unyielding. She had always been fascinated by the stories of past invasions and the resilience of humanity. Under the tutelage of General Harper, she had honed her strategic skills, learning the art of warfare and the importance of thinking several steps ahead. "Remember, Elena," General Harper had once told her, "our strength lies not just in our technology, but in our ability to adapt and outthink our enemies. Never underestimate the power of a well-laid plan." It was this philosophy that had led to the creation of the Guardian Protocol. Elena, along with a team of brilliant scientists and military tacticians, had worked tirelessly in secret to develop the technology and strategies that would give humanity an edge against any invader. Advanced holographic systems, automated drones, and hidden weapons platforms were all part of the arsenal they had built. As she walked through the command center, Elena's thoughts were interrupted by Lieutenant Harper, now a trusted colleague and second-in-command. "Captain, we've received intel on the Carian movements. It appears they are regrouping and planning their next assault." Elena nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. "We need to stay one step ahead. Prepare our defenses and ensure all units are ready. We can't afford any mistakes." In the hidden research labs beneath the city, scientists continued to refine and improve the Guardian Protocol. Dr. Meera Patel, the lead scientist on the project, approached Elena with a new development. "Captain, we've enhanced the holographic projectors. They can now create more complex and dynamic illusions, making it even harder for the enemy to distinguish between real and fake targets." Elena examined the prototype, a small device no larger than her palm. "This could be a game changer, Dr. Patel. Deploy these upgrades to our frontline units immediately." Meanwhile, on the Carian flagship, General Theric was seething. His pride had been wounded by the unexpected resistance, and he was determined to crush the humans once and for all. "Prepare our elite strike teams," he ordered. "This time, we will show no mercy." The Carians had underestimated humanity once, but they would not make the same mistake again. Theric's new strategy involved overwhelming force and advanced jamming technology, designed to disrupt human communications and holographic systems. As night fell, the city of Earth braced for the next wave. Soldiers fortified their positions, civilians took shelter, and the Guardian Protocol was on high alert. Elena stood at the helm, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the enemy. In the early hours of the morning, the Carian ships appeared on the radar. They moved with precision and purpose, their intent clear. The first wave of elite troops landed on the outskirts of the city, their advanced jamming devices already in operation. Elena watched the screens in the command center, her mind analyzing the data. "They're trying to disrupt our systems," she said, "but we won't let them. Activate countermeasures." Across the battlefield, hidden drones and automated defenses sprang to life. The enhanced holographic projectors created a dizzying array of illusions, confusing the Carian troops and drawing them into carefully laid traps. Despite the jamming, the Guardian Protocol adapted, using backup communication channels and pre-programmed contingencies to maintain coordination. In the midst of the chaos, Elena led a strike team to engage the Carian elite forces directly. They moved through the shadows, their movements precise and calculated. As they closed in on the enemy, Elena's tactical genius shone through. She anticipated the Carians' moves, countering their attacks with swift and decisive actions. The battle was fierce and unforgiving. The Carians fought with a ferocity born of desperation, but the humans held their ground. Elena's strategies and the relentless spirit of her soldiers turned the tide. One by one, the Carian strike teams were neutralized, their jamming devices destroyed. As the sun began to rise, the battlefield fell silent. The Carian forces were in full retreat once again, their morale shattered by the unyielding defense. Elena stood victorious, but she knew the fight was far from over. "Captain," Lieutenant Harper said, approaching her, "we've done it. The Carians are retreating." Elena nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "For now, Lieutenant, but they will be back, and when they return, we'll be ready." The battle had revealed the true strength of the Guardian Protocol and the resilience of humanity. They had proven that Earth was not an easy target, and that the spirit of its defenders was unbreakable. As they prepared for the next challenge, Elena and her team knew that they would continue to fight, adapting and evolving to meet any threat that came their way. The morning sun cast a golden hue over the city, revealing the extent of the battle's destruction. Smoke still rose from smoldering ruins, and the echoes of distant explosions lingered in the air. Yet amidst the devastation, a sense of hope and determination persisted. Captain Elena Drake stood at the forefront of this resolve, her mind already strategizing the next move. In the hidden command center, a flurry of activity surrounded Elena. Holographic displays showed real-time updates on the enemy's movements and the positions of human forces. Lieutenant Harper approached, a determined look on his face. "Captain, we've intercepted communications indicating the Carians are regrouping for another assault. They're bringing in reinforcements from their main fleet," Harper reported. Elena's eyes narrowed. "They're not giving up easily, but neither will we. Prepare all units for a counteroffensive. It's time to take the fight to them." As Harper relayed the orders, Elena focused on the holographic map. The Carians were formidable, but they had a weakness: their reliance on centralized command structures. If she could disrupt their leadership, the rest of the forces would falter. "Lieutenant," Elena called, "I need a team of our best operatives. We're going to cut off the head of the snake." Within minutes, a team of elite soldiers assembled, ready to execute Elena's daring plan. They moved with the precision and coordination that had become their hallmark, a testament to the rigorous training and unwavering resolve instilled by their captain. The mission was straightforward but perilous: infiltrate the Carian command center and disable their leadership. This would involve navigating through enemy lines, avoiding detection, and striking swiftly and decisively. Under the cover of night, the team moved through the city's labyrinthine underground tunnels. Above ground, the Guardian Protocol continued to confound the Carian forces with holographic decoys and unpredictable guerrilla tactics. Every step the aliens took was met with fierce resistance, buying precious time for Elena and her team. As they approached the enemy command center, Elena signaled for silence. The team split into smaller units, each with a specific objective. Elena and Harper led the main assault group, while others set charges to disable key systems. The Carian command center was a fortress of alien technology, bristling with defenses. Elena knew that a direct assault would be suicide. Instead, they relied on stealth and subterfuge, utilizing their advanced cloaking devices and holographic projectors to bypass security. Inside the command center, General Theric barked orders, unaware of the impending threat. His frustration was palpable as he struggled to regain control over the chaotic battlefield. "Our reinforcements are en route," he growled. "We will crush these humans once and for all." Elena watched from the shadows, her team poised to strike. She took a deep breath, her mind laser-focused. With a swift motion, she gave the signal and chaos erupted. Explosions rocked the command center as the charges detonated, plunging the facility into darkness. In the confusion, Elena's team moved with lethal efficiency, neutralizing guards and disabling systems. Theric's roars of anger echoed through the corridors, but he was powerless to stop the onslaught. Elena confronted Theric in the central chamber, their eyes locking in a moment of recognition and animosity. "You've underestimated us," she said coldly, "and now you'll pay the price." Theric lunged, but Elena was faster. She sidestepped his attack and delivered a precise blow, incapacitating the alien general. As Theric lay on the ground, defeated, Elena turned to Harper. "Secure him. We'll need information on their fleet." With the command center neutralized and Theric captured, the Carrion forces fell into disarray. Leaderless and demoralized, they began to retreat, their once formidable ranks crumbling under the relentless human counteroffensive. Back at the command center, cheers erupted as news of the victory spread. The Carrion retreat signaled a turning point in the battle, a testament to the strength and ingenuity of humanity's defenders. Elena stood amidst the celebrations, a rare smile crossing her face. The battle was far from over, but they had won a significant victory. The Guardian Protocol had proven its worth once again, and with every challenge, they grew stronger. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, casting a hopeful glow over the city, Elena looked out at the skyline. The fight for Earth continued, but with leaders like her and the unwavering spirit of humanity, there was no doubt they would prevail. The sense of victory from their recent triumph was palpable, but Captain Elena Drake knew that this was only a temporary reprieve. The Carrion Empire was regrouping, and their next assault would be even more brutal. With General Theric captured, Elena had gained valuable intelligence on the enemy's plans. However, the information revealed a grim reality. The Carrions were preparing for an all-out assault with their entire fleet. In the command center, Elena and her team pored over the data they had extracted from Theric. Holographic projections of the Carrion fleet movements filled the room, showing the sheer scale of the impending attack. "We have to act fast," Lieutenant Harper said, his voice tense. "They'll be here in less than 48 hours. Elena nodded, her mind racing. "We need to fortify our defenses and prepare for a full-scale invasion. This will be our final stand. If we can hold them off here, we can turn the tide of the entire war." Orders were issued, and the city transformed into a fortress. Civilians were evacuated to underground shelters, and every able-bodied person was mobilized to assist in the defense efforts. The Guardian Protocol was pushed to its limits, with new holographic decoys and traps being set up across key locations. As the hours ticked by, the tension in the air was palpable. Soldiers stood ready, their faces a mix of determination and fear. Elena walked among them, offering words of encouragement and reminding them of the importance of their mission. "We are the last line of defense," she said, her voice carrying through the ranks. "The fate of Earth rests on our shoulders, but we are strong, we are united, and we will not falter." As dawn approached, the sky darkened with the approach of the Carrion fleet. The massive alien ships descended, casting long shadows over the city. The ground trembled as the first wave of the assault began. Elena watched from the command center, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays. "This is it," she murmured. "All units, engage the enemy. Hold the line at all costs." The battle that ensued was fierce and chaotic. Carrion troops poured into the city, met with a barrage of human resistance. Advanced human weaponry clashed with alien technology, and the air was filled with the sounds of explosions and gunfire. The Guardian Protocol proved invaluable once again. Holographic decoys drew enemy fire away from key positions, while hidden drones launched surprise attacks from the shadows. The Carrions, despite their numbers and firepower, struggled to gain any ground. In the midst of the chaos, Elena led a strike team to take out a critical Carrion command post. They moved through the city's underground tunnels, emerging behind enemy lines. With precision and coordination, they launched a surprise attack, neutralizing the command post and causing further confusion among the Carrion ranks. As the hours passed, the battle raged on. The city became a war zone, with every street and building turning into a battleground. Despite the relentless assault, the human defenders held their ground, their resolve unbroken. In the sky above, Carrion warships targeted the city's defenses, their powerful weapons causing widespread destruction. Elena ordered a squadron of human fighters to intercept, leading to a dramatic aerial battle. The human pilots, skilled and determined, managed to take down several of the enemy ships, further weakening the Carrion assault. On the ground, Elena and her team continued to fight, their movements a blur of action and strategy. They used the city's layout to their advantage, setting up ambushes and traps that caught the enemy off guard. Every step the Carrions took was met with fierce resistance. As night fell, the tide of battle began to turn. The Carrion forces, their ranks decimated and their morale shattered, started to retreat. General Theric, witnessing the defeat from his cell, could only watch in disbelief as his mighty fleet was driven back by the indomitable spirit of humanity. Elena stood on a rooftop, watching the retreating enemy. She allowed herself a moment of relief, but knew that this was not the end. The Carrions would return, and the fight for Earth would continue. But for now, they had won a crucial victory, proving once again that humanity would not be easily conquered. As the first light of dawn broke over the city, casting a hopeful glow over the battlefield, Elena looked out at the horizon. The war was far from over, but with leaders like her and the unwavering spirit of humanity, there was no doubt they would prevail. As dawn spread its light over the battered city of Earth, the sounds of battle faded into an eerie silence. The Carrion forces, once a seemingly unstoppable juggernaut, had retreated, their ships disappearing into the sky. The people of Earth had won a significant victory, but the cost was steep. Buildings lay in ruins, smoke still rose from the remnants of fierce combat, and the wounded and fallen were tended to with somber care. Captain Elena Drake stood atop a makeshift command post, surveying the aftermath of the battle. Her face was lined with exhaustion, but her eyes shone with a fierce determination. She knew that this victory was only one chapter in the ongoing struggle for Earth's survival. The Guardian Protocol had proven its worth, but the fight was far from over. "Captain," Lieutenant Harper approached, his arm in a sling but his spirit unbroken. "The Carrions are in full retreat. Our scouts report that they've regrouped outside of our solar system. We've bought ourselves some time." Elena nodded, her gaze still fixed on the horizon. "Time to rebuild, time to prepare. We need to fortify our defenses and ensure that we're ready for their return." Harper hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Elena, you've led us through the impossible. The people need to see you, to know that we're still strong." With a deep breath, Elena descended from the command post and walked through the streets of the city. She was met with cheers and expressions of gratitude from soldiers and civilians alike. Each face she passed reminded her of why they fought, of the unyielding spirit that defined humanity. At a temporary hospital set up in a school gymnasium, Elena visited the wounded. She offered words of encouragement and thanks, her presence a beacon of hope. A young girl, her leg bandaged but her eyes bright with admiration, handed Elena a small handmade flag. "Thank you, Captain Drake," the girl said, "for protecting us." Elena accepted the flag with a warm smile. "It's an honor. We fight for all of you." Later that evening, Elena gathered with her core team in the command center. They discussed the next steps, focusing on rebuilding and strengthening their defenses. Dr. Meera Patel presented new advancements in the Guardian Protocol, including enhanced holographic technology and improved drone capabilities. "We're making progress," Dr. Patel said, "but we need more resources and time to fully implement these upgrades." Elena looked around the room at the faces of her trusted colleagues. "We'll get what we need. We've shown the galaxy that we won't back down. Now, we must ensure that we're ready for whatever comes next." As the meeting concluded, Elena took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. She thought of the sacrifices made, the lives lost, and the resilience that had carried them through. The battle for Earth had united humanity in a way that few things could, and it had revealed the strength and ingenuity that lay within them. In the quiet of the night, Elena received a message from General Harper. "Captain, we've detected an unidentified fleet on the outer rim. It seems the Carrions are not the only threat we face." Elena sighed, the weight of leadership pressing down on her. But she also felt a renewed sense of purpose. "We'll be ready, General. The Guardian Protocol will adapt, and so will we." As the stars twinkled above the city, Elena knew that the fight for Earth was far from over. But with the Guardian Protocol and the unbreakable spirit of humanity, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. The unseen Guardians had proven their worth, and they would continue to protect and defend, no matter the cost. As dawn broke over Alaris, Captain Elena Drake received a message. New threat detected on the outer rim. She sighed, knowing the battle was far from over. But for now, Earth was safe, and the Guardian Protocol had proven its worth. The scars of battle would heal, and the city would rebuild stronger than before. Elena stood on the rooftop, looking out over the horizon, a symbol of resilience and determination. To all the defenders of Earth, she spoke over the communication channels, we have shown that we can stand against any threat. Today, we celebrate our victory, but we remain vigilant. The Guardian Protocol will evolve, and so will we. Together, we will face whatever challenges lie ahead. The people of Earth, united by their common struggle and inspired by their leaders, began the arduous task of rebuilding. They knew that the Carians and other threats would return, but they also knew that humanity's spirit could not be broken. The battle for survival had forged a bond stronger than any technology or weapon. As the city came back to life, the Guardians continued their work, ever watchful, ever ready. Elena Drake, standing tall amid the ruins and the hope, knew that the future held many battles, but with courage, strategy, and unity, they would face them all. And thus, the legend of the unseen Guardians grew, a testament to humanity's unyielding will and the power of collective strength. The fight for Earth would continue, but so would the determination to protect it. The Guardians had proven their worth, and they would remain vigilant, ever prepared for the next challenge. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey through the epic battle for Earth's survival in Unseen Guardians, humanity's hidden strength. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure from the Sci-Fi Story Vault. Dive deeper into the universe of our stories and explore the resilience, ingenuity, and courage of humanity against all odds. For more epic sci-fi tales, click on the suggested video on your screen and continue the adventure with another gripping story from our channel. Your next thrilling journey awaits.